What's up? This is the Hoppe and Super Rich Show. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
I am Ryan Stuprich.
Our other co-host, Ryan Risky. For some reason, I guess his car broke down.
Something like that.
So he can't make it in. But it's me and Super Rich here like always. So call the show. 630-785-2510. That is 630-785-2510. Or maybe you're a bit shy. Or you're a bit timid. But you want to get in contact with the show live and tweet us. So that your tweets will come here in real time.
Yeah.
We will read them on the air. I'm on Twitter, @HoppyRadio893.
And at Ryan Stuprich, Stuprich.
And something funny happened last weekend that Risky wanted me to bring up. That happened at WNUR.
Yeah.
So let me set it up. We do this show at WNUR 89.3. It's from 2 to 4 a.m. And we don't have the key to get in because we don't go there.
Of course.
But we get there at like 9 p.m. even though our show begins at 2 just because it's easy to get in. And then once you're in, you're in. But the problem is you have to put like a garbage can
Right.
in front of the two doors so that you don't get locked out. At the end of our show, I went to the bathroom and I go in there and I see my co-host K-Wall and I go, please tell me Risky's in here. Please tell me Risky's in here. Because I closed the door and all our things were in there.
Right.
So if Ryan Risky...
I know I did that to you once where your phone was locked in the recording
I had to wait
studio.
till 6 a.m.
Yeah, you had to wait like over 2 hours at least, so that was bad. But
So yeah, we're just a bunch of kids who want to make it in radio. And we actually have a guest right now who is sitting in on the Hoppe and Super Rich Show because it's such an honor to be amongst us. What's your name and what type of radio do you want to do?
My name is Dakota, and I'm more interested in the music radio.
Oh, that's cool. Like, what type of music do you like?
I'm more into more older music, as in back in 90s, 80s.
yeah.
I'm the same way. I like music from the last 10 years and then 90s. Like, the new music that's out is utter crap. Like, it's utter trash.
I agree.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened to music, if it's because of, like, auto-tune or we're just, like, making people famous without talent, Iggy Azalea, Bieber, all that. But, like, something's happened to music where it's just, it's going completely downhill. Do you agree?
I agree. Especially with people calling dubstep music. To me, that's just a blender.
It's just a guy behind a laptop spinning some software, and he's not even doing it half the time. Like when you have the guys from Jersey Shore who are DJs, they're doing diddly squats. They're not doing anything. You know what I mean? You ever notice that?
Yeah, they're just making body movements like, yeah, I'm actually not doing anything.
And then their whole laptop's doing everything, and everyone there who paid to see them thinks they're doing something, but it's pre-programmed. So they're really doing nothing, Super Rich. So you're paying
Right.
$150 to see Mike the Situation be a DJ, even though he's not doing anything, and it's all been pre-recorded on a software, which I'm sure he didn't record.
No, I don't think so.
So if you were to do a show, like, what would it be called, and, like, what would the genre of music be? Like, what is, like, your dream show, like, the first thing that comes to your mind?
Dream show, just classic music. Pretty much some little bit of Johnny Cash.
I like your voice, too. I think it would fit the format.
Thank you.
So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go on a rant about how the media annoys me, and whenever you want to give your whole opinion or take...
Which is like
just
every
chime in.
week.
Every week. It's every day on Twitter.
Right.
I go on.
I mean, like every week, there's new material about it for sure.
So I'm going to go on a rant, and if you have anything to say, just feel free to speak up. All right. So as we all know, last night it was the Royals, Super Rich,
Yeah.
that are making it to the World Series.
They're going to the World Series.
And no one seems to care in the media because it's not the Yankees. It's not the Red Sox. It's not the Dodgers.
Although most of America's rooting for them,
most
think.
of America is rooting for them. But if you're paid to sit behind a desk and report the so-called news, then you don't care at all. It's utterly ridiculous. And I want to read you some of these tweets because I think it's safe to say last night I went on a bit of a rampage.
Yeah, you
It was
shot out
like
like 5 or 6 tweets in a row.
No, it was 12.
It was a lot more than that, yeah.
And it all began, I retweeted this from Sports Pickle. It's a pic of one of the guys from the Royals. Do you know who this is? It's supposed to be Lorenzo Cain.
That's Alex Gordon.
It's supposed to be Lorenzo Cain, but it's Alex Gordon or
Right.
Alex Morgan. Who is it? See,
That's Alex Gordon, but they put up Lorenzo Cain's graphic.
That'd be like if, I don't know, Derek Jeter was MVP, but then you showed like A-Rod. But heaven forbid, they would never do that to the
That's
big
a
market
big
team.
difference.
No, but I'm just
Yeah,
comparing
no,
it.
yeah, I know.
Potato. I know there's not one guy on the Royals that we know by name. So then that whole thing led me to a rant that, how would you describe it? It was just tweet by tweet by tweet of just anger and fury.
Yeah, that's pretty much how to describe it.
So then I said, Sports Center is too busy reporting on what type of car King James is driving. And I guess that's true, because I don't watch the trash known as Sports Center, but I saw tweets that they were actually reporting on what car he was driving. It's supposed to be a sports show. When you drive a car and you're buying one, that has nothing to do with sports, unless it's like motor racing, then maybe it's okay to report on sports.
Right.
But when you report on
well, they're just trying to get, he's the most famous athlete right now. Let's talk about his personal life.
They're trying to find some agenda so they
when they should be talking about the World Series. That's the most important thing going on right now.
I don't know
the Royals making
that
the World
the
Series.
Royals, for the first time ever, are undefeated going into the the World Series, the biggest game in baseball, Sports Center, and I put the word sports. You're supposed to cover sports. Or
right.
that you have a Game 5, right? Game 5.
Yeah.
And then whoever wins it
Game
goes
5
to the World Series.
Between the Giants and Cardinals. Whoever wins that goes to the World Series.
And you're not covering that either. No, you're too busy covering what type of car LeBron drives, which is ridiculous. So then here is the next tweet that just set me off, and I got 9 retweets on this. And I said this, and quote, "This has to be a recent trend in journalism and the media in general, where the lack of reporting is getting worse. It wasn't this bad 10 years ago."
Right. Although I wasn't watching as much 10 years ago.
But it's
because
because
I know
of social media.
Yeah.
It's because of this trend of like the TMZs of the world and the entertainment weeklies of the world and all these sports blogs and all these fake guys who think that they host a radio show but they just do podcasts. I'm not talking about people here at school at all, because we're actually hosting a radio show on an online radio channel. I'm talking about the people who host shows in their basement or their closet, and they claim it's a radio show, but it's on Spreaker. Those are the guys who are ruining the media forever, because those are the Monday morning quarterbacks. The guys who never played a lick of sports, but then they end up covering it super rich.
Right.
And then somehow, in some way, they end up going on TV and being Sports Center anchors. Do you agree with me? Like, what's going on? Like, this whole idea where you can have your own Facebook account or Twitter and be anonymous, but give your take on the news and tweet at the athletes. You couldn't do that 10 years ago.
Right.
Like, you can never give your opinion.
It's a lot more front forward now, especially.
Like, what is your take on the whole, like, you can hide behind the keyboard and say whatever you want without ever having to meet the athlete or anybody when you tweet things or say things that are mean, but you would never say it to their face? Like, what do you think?
Well, I think it's just kind of ridiculous, because if you can't say that to their face, why even put it out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
Yeah.
It shows that you are a loser and a coward if you're going to hide behind a keyboard, but you're not going to say diddly squat to them in person. You know, if they were to meet these guys who they hate, they'd be like, "Oh my God, can I have a picture real quick?" They wouldn't say that to their face, because then the guy's going to be like, "What's your problem, man?" And then the guy's going to like fizzle out like some rat in the corner. All right, here is my next tweet that got me annoyed. Oh, where is it? Right here. Call the show, 630-785-2510. It's 630-785-2510. Here's the next tweet. "It's getting ridiculous. It's making me get annoyed by sports just by the reporting and the obvious bias. I love watching sports, but covering it is different." Because Super Rich, we're pretty humble when we talk about sports.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't act like we're some experts. I never played sports. I never was coordinated. So I'm not going to come on here and ever trash a guy. Yeah, I might trash how he played, but then I'll say he's better than I'll ever be. When Haney threw that pick to, what was it, Sam Shields in that playoff game?
B.J. Raji, right?
No, I think it was Woodson. B.J. Raji had one of the interceptions. But
he had an interception for a touchdown, I know.
Whatever. All I know is Haney is better than we'll ever be. He has a hotter girlfriend than we'll ever have. That's why I never hate on these athletes. I don't get these people who write these blogs, who do these TV shows like First Take, or do anything
Well, First Take is just like a circus show.
It's trash. It's utter trash.
I mean, Skip Bayless purposely takes the opposing side.
And people don't know that. They think it's a real show.
Like,
it's not.
They actually think that he believes that when he doesn't.
Do people really think that he thought that Tim Tebow, who couldn't throw an NFL quarterback spiral, he is an elite quarterback? No, get the hell out of here. They say, "Skip, this is what you think, Tim Smith. Be the outrageous guy and scream a lot."
Right.
Give us headaches. Here's my next tweet. Last, my goal is I want Super Rich, Ryan, Risky, Timmer, and K-Wall, which are our co-hosts, to be unbiased and leave nothing out. Not just in sports, but in general.
Which I think we do a pretty good job of.
I never want to be a show where I have a certain agenda. One week I might like somebody like Michael Phelps. The next week I will trash you when you get a DUI.
Yeah. 2 DUIs now.
Yeah, and you don't get a ride home. One week, I will like CNN or I can tolerate them. The next week, they throw my favorite show, Anthony Cumia, under the bus. Like, I'm not a guy where I pick sides or I have agendas or I have favorites like MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, ESPN. Like, Fox Sports 1 seems like the only outlet for sports.
Fox Sports 1's pretty good. I'm glad that they got that going. That's definitely a better option than Sports Center. Although my favorite, like if you want baseball coverage, my favorite is to go to like MLB Network. For basketball, you go to NBA TV. For hockey, NHL Network, stuff like that.
Do you want to hear some better analysis than Sports Center? This was better analysis. My cat's fighting last night.
Yeah, you sent me this. It's scary.
Yeah, that really noise was better analysis than anything Sports Center has done in the last 4 years since LeBron James went to the Heat and went back to the Cavs.
That was that. Again. Yeah. Was that your cat trying to get on like the counter and your other cat wouldn't let him on?
Well, here's what happens with my cats. Whenever they don't get fed, like it's not like I don't feed them, but I'll come home from the gym and I'll eat first because I'm the human and they can wait. And then I'll forget to feed them. So I got home from the gym at 11. It was like 1:30. I'm like, yeah, I should probably feed them. So this is what happens. They blame each other for no food being in the house. Because do you hear that like hissing? They're like,
yeah. Luckily, my cat doesn't have another cat friend. It's just one.
And then my cat does like that pimp walk, walking back, like, yeah, don't mess with me. Looks in the kitchen where she is. My cat's a boss, dude. But yeah, that was my point. That video was better analysis. You got more out of that video than anything you'll see on TV. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying right here.
Here's my next tweet. The ultimate downfall of the news reporting is when TMZ, and I love tagging them, because I would say it to their face. I'm not a hypocrite.
Does he have any of them blocked you yet? I know somebody from TMZ blocked you, right?
Yeah, the guy Dax Hall with the pretty boy here. Here's my thing. I would actually say it to their face. And I would actually have a debate. I'm not one of those keyboard killers. I hate TMZ and I hate celebrity news so much, I would say it to Kim Kardashian's face. Insert the words you can't say on the edge, but the words that I think about her for making a tape with her AJ. Yeah, I would say that to her face. But here's the tweet I said. The ultimate downfall of the news reporting world is when TMZ, at Harvey Levin TMZ, and at Charles Latt, the guy with the dreadlocks, popped up 10 years ago. Now everything is tabloid. It's true. Sports Center, over and over again, we're showing Janae Rice getting beat up and not covering week 1 or whatever week it was of the NFL or the MLB playoff race at that point.
Right.
Because all those teams had a fighting chance. And then here's my other point, and I love, because people, now these are all my tweets. I was just on a rampage last night. You know what I mean? Like, I was angry. Here's my next tweet, because I thought about this. Well, people will give me the whole thing. Well, people haven't heard of these guys on Kansas City, so why should we cover them? And here's my tweet. If you report the names, people will learn it quick. If you teach people who Lorenzo Cain are.
Well, and if you're watching Sports Center or just any sports show,
you're going to learn.
You probably already know who some of them are because you've been seeing it for like a month. But
like it's sad that this is the first time that the Royals,
if you're truly a sports fan, you're going to know the names either way. So when somebody makes a mistake like that where they had where it was supposed to be Lorenzo Cain, but it was Alex Gordon talking, that's a big mistake that a lot of people point out.
That's a huge thing. That's like interviewing Tim Duncan after
and putting up Tony Parker's name or something.
No, and like putting Kawhi Leonard, like a completely opposite person. Right. Putting Matt Bonner in there. And then here's my favorite part. Can you imagine if Kobe Bryant or Shaquille O'Neal played in the era today with social media and biased reporting and fake analysis and keyboard killers, or the Showtime Lakers and the Celtics rivalry?
Right.
Oh, my God. We would find out. What did Larry Bird eat this weekend? What car did Magic Johnson drive?
My God.
What did James Worthy do this weekend? Can you imagine TMZ, especially in Los Angeles, because that's where the Lakers played for 10 years and during their run when they won rings and they didn't win rings against the Celtics, all those finals appearances. Can you imagine TMZ just hounding them outside of the club? Magic, Irvin, I saw that you're with a girl last night. It wasn't your wife. Those nosy douchebags. Ugh, enough you.
That's true, because no one really knew what Magic Johnson was doing until they found out he had AIDS, right?
But can you imagine cell phone cameras? I'm sure there would have been a sex tape of Magic Johnson, because he was so reckless. If you get HIV,
well, obviously there's a lot more access now where people can do certain things, and then it makes it kind of annoying for people to watch and listen to.
Here's another thing I thought about during my rant about the media. Don't forget, when the major news networks, this isn't like SportsCenter, but this is like MSNBC, CNN, and in Fox News, when they leave out key parts of what happened in the news, they leave out the key parts.
That's true. I think I favorited that one.
You're a news network, and you're leaving out key parts about the news.
Well, 'cause they have to fit their own bias. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Fox News has to talk about only certain things. CNN and MSNBC have to talk about certain things.
Well, because CNN's more liberal-sided.
Yeah. You know, like everyone has to have their point.
Yeah.
But they don't leave out the key information that would make their story seem stupid if they were reporting it.
My all-time favorite example of the media leaving out something is when my favorite host from Opie and Anthony Cumia, got attacked in Times Square, and he went on that possibly racial tirade. Yeah, he shouldn't have tweeted 20 tweets in a row at 4 in the morning about it.
No, of course not. But
I
mean, he was attacked, and he was angry. You have a right to express how you feel after being attacked, I think. You know?
CNN, when they had a whole thing about it, they focused on the tweets and not that he was attacked. Ouch, Ryan. Words hurt. Not when you get beat up in Times Square by a crazy woman.
Right.
No, it's when words hurt.
I'm pretty sure he hurt more than his words did.
Oh, yeah.
Read
this next tweet. Just read it.
Someone called the doctor. Someone said something mean to me or something I don't agree with. I want him fired because words hurt. Hashtag sticks and stones.
Whatever happened to that may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? That saying is completely out of the window. That is past times. We can't even express our opinion without being offended. I've had people call me a shock jock, which is the dumbest word ever. You can go on certain websites and see more shocking things than what I say. All I do is speak my mind.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All these people get fired, dude, just for speaking their mind. Whatever happened to having an honest opinion? It's almost like you're afraid to say what you think, because then these people with their fake outrage will get you fired. You know what I mean?
Somewhat, but yeah. It's just...
I'm leaving you speechless just because of this rant. I mean,
right.
I'm saying everything that's true. And then here's
not much else to say about it, right? I mean, you're pretty much taking words out of everyone's mouth, which...
I always do. I'm like the king of
that. It does happen a lot, yeah.
Here's my last thing. And I had a pic of the DVD box for my favorite movie, Idiocracy.
Right. I've still yet to see that, by the way.
Watch it.
I've seen part of it, but
it's
not really all.
It's great. I had to get this off my chest. And this is the same tweet with the picture in it. It says, I had to get this off my chest because the media is just getting more and more silly and more idiotic.
Yeah.
Idiocracy is now becoming a documentary. When you allow
a real-life documentary.
Oh, it's getting scary, dude. When you allow this to happen and you allow all these news organizations just to run their mouth and we can believe anything, that's when we have a problem here. You agree with me?
Yeah.
I just had to get that off my chest because I love the power that I can turn on this mic and I can turn off this mic and speak my mind and give my take. Because people are afraid to now because of the fake outrage police. These same people who have nothing better to do. And they're not really outraged. They're bored. And they just want to see someone who's outspoken or someone that they don't agree with either say they're sorry or get fired.
All right.
That's why I made that new thing for our show. I made a new...
Yeah. the new logo.
Words hurt. And then it says, speaking our mind against the fake outrage police. Honestly, enough of you.
Coming up, the Hoppe and Super Rich Show.
All right, I just had to get that off my chest, man. It was irking me. And I'm like, I need to call it out. Because I was thinking, should I do it? Will I burn any bridges? I'm just speaking my mind. You got to have some guts sometimes in life. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly.
So what does it say?
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about fans who egged the Chargers bus. I guess this happened after San Diego beat them. I think they beat them. Did they shut them out, or was it a close game? I think it was a close game. Yeah. And then a jersey ad revenue is part of the mix. That has to do with NBA jersey sales, I guess.
That's another sign of idiocracy when you're going to have actual ads on the jerseys.
Oh, okay, that's what it means.
Call it a show.
Yeah, that's awful.
630-785-2510.
That ruins the whole jersey.
I know, it ruins everything.
We'll be back.
Hang on.
The Hoppe and Super Rich Show. The hits of the future play here. The Edge.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppe Radio. For more info, check out hopperadio.com and hoppesworld.com.